SummerSlam is so close you can smell it. Doesn't it smell good? Oh, no, I didn't smell anything. And actually, if you can smell something, you should probably go get that checked out, because sometimes if you're smelling things randomly, it means you're not well. But I'm sure you're fine. Anyway, the biggest event of the summer is close, and we know the main event is going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman. And after thinking about it long, good and hard, I've decided that Braun Strowman, it's your time. You should win the Universal title. Why? Ass slap. Here's why. First and foremost, isn't it amazing we've actually arrived at this place? I can stand here and say to you, I think Braun Strowman should be Universal Champion. And most of you will go, yeah, Simon, that's all right. I wouldn't mind that. If I had said that a year ago, I would have been lambasted. I would have been ridiculed. I would have been strung up like a mule and just beaten with a stick. But that's the great job that WWE has done over the last 12 months with Braun Strowman. Vince and his friends got together and went, oh yeah, we're really good at booking big men, and they basically went back to the rule book they wrote 20 years ago, pulled all that out, did it again, and what do you know, it was a massive success. I mean, who is more fun than Braun Strowman right now? The answer is nobody. He just runs around like the big wrecking machine that he is, and he wallops people in the face, and he's a bit like a cartoon come to life, but that's why it's so good. He is a joy to watch, and better still, Braun just gets it. He understands what's expected of him, and he delivers time and time again, and I watch him like a proud father. That was a weird thing to say, because I imagine the age difference between us is like 3 or 4 years, so I would have had that kid really young. It's a testament to the man too, because he has come on leaps and bounds ever since he arrived on the scene in 2016. I mean, back then, we didn't think much of him, but he gets it. He's understood. He's applied himself, and to be honest, at this stage, I think we can just say he's a talented so-and-so. He's got it. And remember, when you say it, you got to do the fingers, otherwise nobody knows what you're talking about. He was meant to be a pro wrestler as far as I'm concerned, and he's proving that at the moment, week in and week out. Throughout all of this too, he's done that things that all wrestlers need to do, and that is that he got himself over. And yeah, he had a lot of help from the back too, but still, he's done it. And again, I'm sure he got extra help for that, because he was allowed to beat up Roman Reigns each week, and apparently if you just do that, the fans will love you, because everybody hates Roman Reigns. But still, he has made it happen, and I bet it wouldn't have been the same for everybody that just happened to be put in that position. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink, and at this stage, Braun Strowman is just slurping up the water like he hasn't had a drink in his life. Given all of that, how can this not be the time to listen to the fans, feel that momentum that's in the air, and give Braun Strowman his first run with the Universal title? It's not like he isn't ready or has to prove himself anymore. He's done all that, and furthermore, the whole situation at SummerSlam has set itself up to tick all the boxes to make you think, actually, maybe this is his time. Maybe his time has arrived. His whole life has been building up to 2017 SummerSlam. At one point or so, they say, the main event for this pay-per-view was meant to be Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar, but then everything changed. However, it is that change that has actually set Strowman up and put him in a much better position than if it was just the Beast versus the Beast. We know that WWE isn't going to beat Brock anytime soon. Even if he does decide to leave and go to UFC and see out his days there, WWE would still probably wait until WrestleMania 34, because if you are going to beat Brock Lesnar, you do it on the biggest stage. It will mean more, and whoever gets that win gets a bigger rub. Could this be Braun? Absolutely it could, but I think we all know deep down it will probably be Roman. We don't know. And because we don't know, we should focus on the now rather than next April. This means we do need a get-out clause for Brock if he is going to lose the Universal title at SummerSlam. And wouldn't you know it, the get-out clause is looking at you straight in the eye. Because there's 2 other dudes that Braun can pin, while Lesnar just watches on like an innocent bystander going, oh, I got screwed. Perfect. Of course, the other issue here is who takes that fall. I doubt it's going to be Roman, because Roman is Roman, and that means Joe's going to lose, and I don't want to see Joe lose, because at the moment, he's the MVP of Raw. On top of that, would I like the program coming out the back of SummerSlam to be champion Braun Strowman versus challenger Samoa Joe? You're damn right I would, mum. Thanks very much. Anyway, we have to iron some of those creases out, sure, but ultimately, if I take a step back and look at this situation, this does feel like the right time to give Braun Strowman the title and to let Brock walk off into the sunset for a little while, no longer the champion. I mean, at least that's what I would do if the plan is to make Brock lose, especially when you start looking at the alternatives. I don't want Roman Reigns to be Universal Champion right now, because the shoe just doesn't fit. It's not his time, even though I know he's going to get it sooner or later. And don't get me wrong, Roman Reigns has been such an important factor in the growth of Braun Strowman, and you could argue, without all those great matches, he wouldn't have got to where he needs to be and where he is. And on top of that, I still want to see those matches, so kudos for those two people for not making me bored. And then the reason I wouldn't opt for Joe here is again because I want to see those two go at it afterwards, and in my head, it's just more fun to see the Samoan one chasing Braun rather than vice versa. And yeah, of course you could do it the other way around. Samoa Joe does win at SummerSlam, and then you still have that program, but Braun is the challenger. This is my fake company, it's my fake booking, and I'm planning it this way. So that's what's going to happen. Therefore, Braun is the guy. And if you do feel like you've got to keep Roman Reigns in the title picture, then just do triple threats for a while. That's a pretty good match. I mean, don't run it into the ground, but on paper, no problem there whatsoever. The point is, sometimes all the stars just align and your gut has a funny feeling, and it just tells you that this is the way things should be. And that's where I'm at right now. For Braun not to win the Universal Championship at this stage seems like a misstep. And after everything Braun has done recently, him not doing that here would feel like a disappointment. You'd be like, well, where do you go now? You've been dominating and you've been kicking ass, but now you're still kind of where you were before all of this. Also, I want to see him come out on Raw the next night and just scream how he's now the man. That would just be great. That would just be awesome. The day after SummerSlam, there's that big guy in the ring going, I'm Braun Strowman, I'm a champion. I guess it doesn't really matter as long as he doesn't lose. And then maybe, yes, Samoa Joe wins. And don't get me wrong, if Samoa Joe did win, I'd go crazy. Because what an inspirational story that would be. Samoa Joe, the man that was never even meant to leave NXT, and before that, was never even going to get into WWE, now essentially the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, that would be spiffing. At the moment though, Braun is your man for me, and I think making him champion opens some cool doors and gives you some really cool scenarios to start to explore. Plus, I bet that title doesn't even fit around his waist, so he can just throw it around like he's some kind of mammoth. I don't think mammoths ever had world titles, but if they did, that's what I'd presume they did with them. Lastly, I kind of do just want to see a stereotypical big guy as world champion again. I know Brock Lesnar kind of fits into that role, but he's also Brock Lesnar, so he's just like a man unto himself. Ain't nobody like Brock Lesnar. Braun kind of fits into that 1980s mod, and I think that'd be really fun. Just an old, big, kind of 1980s massive heel running wild as your champion, even though he's a face, because 2017 is a strange place. So maybe it's time to bring that back, or at least give it a go. But if nothing else, Braun Strowman, there's your salute. You're doing a great job. Keep kicking ass. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share and subscribe, and why don't you go share the video too. Follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE, and visit WhatCulture.com and read some articles using your head and using your eyes. My name is Simon from What Culture. This was the Y Series. Enjoy SummerSlam, where I get the main event wrong. And Baron Corbin wins. Baron Corbin wins, he cashes in his briefcase, and then I kill myself because I didn't want to see that, and I won't do that. That was an exaggeration. I retract that, it was a bit much. But have a good day. Have a good day.